Devon Larratt just gave his thoughts on who he thinks Brian Shaw should face first. Guys, as we know, Brian Shaw just entered the sport of arm wrestling, and now that Brian had that training with Devon, the fans wonder what is next for Brian. And what seems more obvious is the makings of a first match for him. And as much as these ideas seem exciting, who should Brian actually face on his very first match? And Devon was even asked about that recently on a podcast. And well, this is what Devon had to say.
He's ridiculously strong, like ridiculously strong. I think we need to take good care of him. I think that his first few matches should be like exhibition matches, like against popular people or other strongmen. Like there's tons of strongmen that we can put him up against, like Eddie or Hafthor or Magnus, bring Magnus back. Matches like that will kind of get him on the table before we throw him against any arm wrestler that can hurt him. I think we give him like a year and a half to 2.5 years.
As we heard there from Devon, he said that Brian's first match should be an exhibition match, and he gives us 3 names. First, Eddie Hall. Second, Hafthor. And third, Magnus Samuelsson. And honestly, in my opinion, not wanting to take anything away from Eddie, but we saw Brian and Eddie together on the table a couple of times, and in every single time, Eddie couldn't do much with Brian there. But the other 2 names seem to be a pretty interesting choice, because Magnus was also a strongman, but he also enjoyed a bit of arm wrestling as well. But now he's 54 years old, and I don't know how he would feel about making a comeback to arm wrestling. And the second name we only saw a few times on the arm wrestling table. But nonetheless, he's still a giant from strongman, and I'm talking about Hafthor. And every time he was pulling, he never did look any confident. Like for an example, as we can see here, Thor's pulling that much smaller guy, and it would be expected for Thor to just fold him. But no, he actually struggled to pin him. So, the bottom line is, Devon believes Brian should have matches, but not yet with pro athletes. Instead, he thinks it's better for a strongman to come by, and only after a year or 2, give him actual matches against actual competitors. But what about you guys? Who do you think Brian should face on his very first match? Leave down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching.